Hi guys, Melky here, and thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to start to read Microsoft Surface Agreement. I've made videos in the past, and I'm going to continue on. So where we left off is reading the covered surfaces. So the excuse me, covered surfaces here, and then we'll continue on from your privacy here. Your privacy is important to us. Please read the Microsoft privacy statement as it describes the types of data we collect from you and your devices, how we use your data, and the legal basis we have to process your data. The privacy statement also describes how Microsoft uses your content, which is your communication with others, postings submitted by you to Microsoft via the services, and the files, photos, documents, audio, digital works, live streams, and videos that you upload, store, broadcast, or share through the services or your content, where processing is based on consent and to the extent permitted by law. By agreeing to these terms, you consent to Microsoft collection, use, and disclosure of your content and data as described in the privacy statement. All right. Okay. In some cases, we will provide separate notice and request your consent as referenced in the privacy statement. Okay guys, so this is covering about our property here, our privacy, definitely interesting. So first things first, actually, let's go and read the privacy statement. There's going to be a lot of reading, guys, a lot of reading, definitely. Okay, Microsoft privacy statement last updated June 2022. Your privacy is important to us. This privacy statement explains the personal data Microsoft processes, how Microsoft processes it, and for what purposes. Microsoft offers a wide range of products, including server products used to help operate enterprises worldwide. Devices you use in your home, software that students use at school, and services developers use to create and host what's next. Reference to Microsoft products in this statement include Microsoft services, websites, apps, software, servers, and devices. Please read the product-specific details in this privacy statement, which provide additional relevant information. This statement applies to the interaction Microsoft has with you and the Microsoft products listed below, as well as other Microsoft products that display this statement. Young people may prefer starting with the privacy for young people page. I think this is for below 18. That page highlights information that may be helpful for young people. Alright, personal data we collect. Microsoft collects data from you through our interactions with you and through our products. You provide some of this data directly, and we get some of it by collecting data about your interactions, use, and experiences with our products. The data we collect depends on the context of your interactions with Microsoft and the choices you make, including your privacy settings and the products and features you use. We also obtain data about you from third parties. If you represent an organization such as business or school that utilizes enterprise and developer products from Microsoft, please see the enterprise and developer products section of this privacy statement to learn how we process your data. If you are an end user of a Microsoft product or a Microsoft account provided by your organization, please see the products provided by your organization and the Microsoft account sections for more information. Okay, let me read that last part one more time. If you are an end user of a Microsoft product or a Microsoft account provided by your organization, please see the products provided by your organization and the Microsoft account sections for more information. Alright, so a little bit further about this, if you have no idea about it, just a picture is that if you work in an office or work in a school or something like that, you're gonna be using Microsoft products that is required or that is licensed to your place of work or to your organization. In that case, your relationship is going to be with the organization and Microsoft, not only between you and Microsoft. So that would be covered in the special section there. There are important details that they are going to talk about there. Next, you have choices when it comes to the technology you use and the data you share. When we ask you to provide personal data, you can decline. Many of our products require some personal data to provide you with a service. If you choose not to provide data required to provide you with a product or feature, you cannot use that product or feature. Likewise, where we need to collect personal data by law or to enter into or carry out a contract with you, and you do not provide the data, we will not be able to enter into the contract. Or if this relates to an existing product you are using, we may have to suspend or cancel it. We will notify you if this is the case at the time where providing the data is optional and you choose not to share personal data. Features like personalization that use such data will not work for you. Wait a minute, this part here, right here, we will notify you if this is the case at the time. The case of what? The case of what? If you choose not to provide data, where we need to collect personal data by law. Sorry, not that. Even is if this relates to an existing product you are using, we may have to suspend or cancel it. So what is this case? So the scenario would be you already use a certain services, and let's say theoretically you've already agreed with the previous terms and conditions, and then after that something changes. Probably not that, but just bear with me for a second. So you already agreed to the previous terms and condition, and after that the terms and condition changed, and then you ended up not agreeing with some details in the privacy section about your data. You don't want that. So if you already ended up using the product, then and something like law happen, or then they will notify you. Am I correct in here? This is a little bit confusing. Okay, so there's a learn more part, so let's learn more. Microsoft collects personal data we collect. Microsoft collects data from you through our interactions with you and through our products for a variety of purposes described below, including to operate effectively and provide you with the best experiences with our products. We provide some of this data directly, such as when you create a Microsoft account, administer your organization's licensing account, submit a search query to Bing, register for a Microsoft event, speak a voice command to Cortana, upload a document to OneDrive, sign up for Microsoft 365, or contact us for support. We get some of it by collecting data about your interactions, use, and experience with our products and communication. We rely on a variety of legal reasons and permissions, sometimes called legal bases, to process data, including with your consent, a balancing of legitimate interest, necessity to enter into and perform contracts, and compliance with legal obligations for a variety of purposes described below. We also obtain data from third parties. We protect data obtained from third parties according to the practices described in this statement, plus any additional restrictions imposed by the source of the data. These third-party sources vary over time and include, so other than collecting directly from you, your data that you give to other services, like services other than Microsoft can collect that from them also. So this is what it's being regulated here, or being talked about here. Data brokers from which we purchase demographic data to supplement the data we collect. Services that make user-generated content from their service available to others, such as local business reviews or public social media posts. Communication services, including email providers and social networks, when you give us permission to access your data on such third-party services or networks. Service providers that help us determine your device's location, partners with which we offer co-branded services or engage in joint marketing activities, developers who create experiences through or for Microsoft products, third parties that deliver experiences through Microsoft products, publicly available sources such as open public sector, academic, and commercial data sets and other data sources. All right, so these are the third parties that probably going to have your data with them, and it's going to be collected by Microsoft. If you represent an organization such as a business or school that utilizes enterprise and developer products from Microsoft, please see the enterprise and developer products section of this privacy statement to learn how we process your data. If you're an end user of a Microsoft product or a Microsoft account provided by your organization, please see the products provided by your organization and the Microsoft account sections for more information. You have choices when it comes to the technology you use and the data you share. When you are asked to provide personal data, you can decline. Many of our products require some personal data to operate and provide you with a service. If you choose not to provide data required to operate and provide you with a product or feature, you cannot use that product or feature. Likewise, where we need to collect personal data by law or to enter into or carry out a contract with you and you do not provide the data, we will not be able to enter into the contract, or if this relates to an existing product you are using, we may have to suspend or cancel it. We will notify you if this is the case at the time. Where providing the data is optional and you choose not to share personal data, features like personalization that use the data will not work for you. Let me read that again. Likewise, where we need to collect personal data by law or to enter into or carry out a contract with you and you do not provide the data, we will not be able to enter into the contract, or if this relates to an existing product you are using, we may have to suspend or cancel it. Okay, by then, it is very important for them to notify you. Okay, that makes sense to me now. We will notify you if this is the case at the time. Where providing the data is optional and you choose not to share personal data, features like personalization that use the data will not work for you. The data we collect depends on the context of your interaction with excuse me. Something is up. Please bear with me, guys. Excuse me. Okay, the problem that could arise in relation to this probably is something like this. Is like some people are used to, for example, turn off their cookies and stuff in their browser, and then after that they just move on with their lives using some Microsoft services and everything, and suddenly Microsoft is like, oh, okay, these services, if the customer does not activate the cookies, the services cannot be provided. So instead of just deactivate it like that, I think they would notify the said customers that, oh, you've turned off cookies, or you're refusing to send such and such information, we will not be able to provide you, or anything like that. And I don't know, this probably is not comprehensive, and pretty likely this is not comprehensive. Again, I'm not a professional. Please take this with a grain of salt. I am prone to mistakes, and I'm not trying to give a professional, reliable information to you. Now I'm just doing this for my own entertainment purposes, and and casual purposes. And so they would have said it before, instead of just deactivating the services, right? So people could have used this their services for various different things, and they could kind of have a little confidence that such services wouldn't be turned off just like that without any notification or whatsoever. Probably like that, but I do kind of remember, or kind of felt like some there is a way, or there would be cases where such things would happen anyway. But I don't know, it's such a gist, it's just a gist. I'm sorry. Okay, next. The data we collect depends on the context of your interactions with Microsoft and the choices you make, including your privacy settings, the products and features you use, your location, and applicable law. The data we collect can include the following: name and contact data, your first and last name, email address, postal address, phone number, and other similar contact data; credentials, passwords, password hints, and similar security information used for authentication and account access; demographic data, data about you, such as your age, gender, country, and preferred language. So obviously they're gonna have access to your password if you create an account, right? And then payment data, data to process payments, such as your payment instrument number, such as a credit card number, and the security code associated with your payment instrument. Okay guys, a little bit more about this is that, of course, they would have this, and if you and any other providers that is offering uh, money transaction is also going to have this. So be careful guys before you make an online transaction, because this data is going to be sent to the people who provided the services, or the host. And if they are not really disciplined, or they are not really scrutinized about their usage of this data, it could be dangerous. So just be careful about that and pay attention to that. Next, but I mean, security system is really complicated. There's a lot of nuances and stuff, a lot of ways people could breach that. So it is, yeah, I mean, like antivirus services, or blockchain services, encryption services, things such as that is really important, and we should appreciate them more. Next, subscription and licensing data, information about your subscription licenses and other entitlements. Okay, interactions, data about your use of Microsoft products. In some cases, such as search queries, this is data you provide in order to make use of the products. In other cases, such as error reports, this is data we generate. Other examples of interactions data include device and usage data, data about your device and the product and features you use, including information about your hardware and software, how our products perform, as well as your settings. For example, payment and account history, data about the items you purchase and activities associated with your account. All right, let's give a little bit of context here, and this is review, just a little bit of review about the context. This is in relation to personal data that Microsoft collect in their privacy policy. So it is it is about different data that they collected out of the interaction with us, and all of this data could be provided or could be available automatically or provided by us personally, and they're kind of telling us how they would treat this data and stuff. Now, this section in particular is talking about interactions data that they collected our activities in their sites probably or in their applications. And uh, they said about error reports and automatic stuff. Obviously such stuff is monitored. And then this section talks about the device and usage data. Could be Windows phone or could be any phone, Android phone that has that you use to access Microsoft services. Data about your device and the product and features you use, including information about your hardware and software. So they will collect data about your phone, what type is it, right? I don't know exactly, right? It is just my imagination. The software, uh, what kind of operating system that it used. Different types of phones have different types of operating systems. How our products perform in relation to that operating system, for example, because for example, Apple iOS uh, could work smoothly, but in terms of Android such and such version, it doesn't really perform as smoothly. As well as your settings, for example, payment and account history, data about the items you purchase and activities associated with your account. Okay, when you pay for a product, they will remember what kind of products it is, and activities, I don't know, I cannot really tell exactly. And then browse history, data about the web pages you visit, device connectivity and configuration data, data about your device configuration and nearby networks. Whoa! For example, data about the operating systems and other software installed in your device, including product keys. In addition, IP address, device identifiers such as email number for phones, regional and language settings, and information about WLAN or your Wi-Fi, right? Access points near your device. So not only what kind of, like, there are multiple information that could be collected about your Wi-Fi. So here's the thing. So if you have a house and you have a Wi-Fi, right, and there's a guest, and the guest is going to be using your Wi-Fi, you give access to your Wi-Fi. Uh, your Wi-Fi data is going to be collected by the services that your guests are using. Next, error reports and performance data. Data about the performance of the products and any problems you experience, including error reports. Error reports, sometimes called crash dumps, can include details of the software or hardware related to an error, contents or files opened when an error occurred, and data about other software on your device. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Like, they wanted to know what went wrong so they could fix it in the future. Okay, next, troubleshooting and help data. Data you provide when you contact Microsoft for help, such as the products you use and other details that help us provide support. For example, contact or authentication data, the content of your chats and other communications with Microsoft, data about the condition of your device and the products you use related to your health inquiry. When you contact us, such as for customer support, phone conversation or chat session with our representatives may be monitored and recorded. Like phone call centers, right? Like customer services in any kind of services, like bills, electricity bills or phone bills, the customer service, they are all kind of record your conversation, so as Microsoft and more than that as well. Bot usage data, interactions with third-party bots and skills available through Microsoft products. Next, interests and favorites. Data about your interests and favorites, such as the sports team you follow, the programming languages you prefer, the stocks you track, oh my god, or cities you add to track things like weather or traffic, in addition to those you explicitly provide. Your interests and favorites can also be inferred or derived from other data we collect. Okay, so they are trying to be specific here. a little bit, but it is still in the form of indirect and indirect insinuation. Stocks you track, for example, uh, um, they're in the case of what they're not going to probe around to find the stocks you track that uh, your portfolio, investment portfolio, your pension fund and whatsoever, without your direct interactions with their, for example, financial services or or something like that, right? It is, if it's not related to them, they should not have any business to probe around that. And they're trying to say, but this is it. Regretfully, personally I don't like it, but regretfully they're saying this: in addition to those you explicitly provide, your interests and favorites can also be inferred. Wait, not that. um um in addition to those you explicitly provide, your interests and favorites can also be inferred or derived from other data we collect. So a little bit, to me it means like, these things that were said previously: programming languages you prefer, stocks you track, or cities you add to track things like weather or traffic. These are stuff that are things that we explicitly provide, right? It's not something that is that we don't consciously give this data to them, right? But they're also saying that your such things could be derived, inferred, or derived from either other data that they collect. So so it's not like they're saying no, we will not be meddling about things that are not directly related, but it's just that, okay, there's a simple way of saying this: they're going to try to figure out everything, right? They're going to probe around everything, they're going to try to find about everything. But there's a difference between the data that you explicitly provide and the data that are not, that are derivatives. Okay, probably the better explanation is going to be revealed further if we read further, so let's not be so quick to jump into conclusion. Next, content consumption data: information about media content, for example, TV, video, music, audio, textbook, apps, and games use access through our products. Next, searches and commands: search queries and commands when you use Microsoft products with search or related productivity functionality. Next, voice data: your voice data, sometimes referred to as voice clips, such as search queries, commands, or dictation you speak, which may include background sounds. Text inking and typing data: text inking and typing data and related information. For example, when we collect inking data, we collect information about the placement of your inking instrument in your device. Is it including our signature? Oh, it could be. Wait. Images and related information such as picture metadata. For example, we collect the image you provide when you use a Bing image enabled service. This is so nice in a way, like, I know it sounds so creepy, guys, when we are reading this, but Microsoft privacy policy is nice because now we know that if Microsoft could do this, that means other people could do this as well, right? Very likely. And then next, contacts and relationships. Data about your contacts and relationships if you use a product to share information with others, manage contacts, communicate with others, or improve your productivity. Okay, social data. Imagine that relationship with people, guys. It is something that is within their grasp. If you don't grasp it yourself, then they would have a stronger grip. That's right. Isn't that logical? Next, social data. Information about your relationship and interactions between you, other people, and organizations, such as types of engagement, for example, likes, dislikes, events, etc., related to people and organization. Next, location data. Data about your device's location, which can be either precise or imprecise. For example, we collect location data using Global Navigation Satellite System, GNSS, for example GPS, and data about nearby cell towers and Wi-Fi hotspots. Location can also be inferred from a device's IP address or data in your account profile that indicates where it is located with less precision, such as at a city or postal code level. All right, here's my thought. Like we need to make sure that the our providers or our service host have a personality that doesn't really going to be um, that is respectful to our interest, justice, that is, that has integrity to justice. Like this is sounds cliche, but now it in the midst of this, in the lens of this, it becomes really meaningful. In my book, it we gotta make sure that the people that have access to all of this data to act in a personality that doesn't really that is like in respect of your property, that respect boundaries, that acknowledge people's boundaries, and would not have a chance to use it to influence our behavior in a way that is that would that would be, how do I say this, that would that would satisfy their interest, right, without us knowing about it, right? If you create a law, like for everyone that created the law, the government, the legislative members of the councils, they all gotta disclose certain stuff, right? Their vested interests and everything. For this one though, they do have a little, as even though they're not creating a law, right? They still could influence the spending pattern, for example, of a market, right? Even like at first, it's a matter of identification, right? They would know what is good, what kind of products that would sell well. But at the end of the day, they also could make a suggestion, for example, in YouTube, like what are the things that are recommended. Like, is that free of vested interest or not, right? So um, we gotta monitor that, because nudges could be used, and like it could be used to make a certain political party win, for example. That's the worst thing, and probably that is pretty, what do you say it, how do you say it, a little bit too nefarious and a little bit too risk. But some other milder things could happen too, and even that, we wouldn't want that to happen without our grip, without our knowing it, and without us being able to to monitor. Am I boring you guys? But I think this is important, right? Like the solution would be to have some kind of council, like stakeholder councils with these multinational companies, the monopoly. We can have some antitrust system where some kind of people, certain people that we could trust, have that is vested interested in our side, to serve our interests, to monitor their behaviors. So there's a little bit balancing and auditing or something like that. um, I think that is pretty important. That could be one solution among many others. A lot of smart people probably would have already thought about that. For example, Sir Tim Berners-Lee created some kind of bot that could that could give you even more control of your data, and other these other companies could not access the details about that. It's just this spot is just going to give some kind of permission or something like that, and I don't really get how it works, but you gotta check it out. Okay, I've talked too long. Let's go to the next one, other input. Other inputs provided when you use our products. For example, data such as the buttons you press on an Xbox wireless controller using the Xbox network, skeletal tracking data when you use Connect, and other sensor data like the number of steps you take when you use devices that have applicable sensors. And if you use spend at your directions, we also collect financial transaction. Whoa, whoa, whoa! How come like movement and then suddenly financial data, such as the button you press on Xbox, Connect, and then after that, spend. I think this application spend is a financial application. Okay, at your direction, we also collect financial transaction data from your credit card issuer to provide the service. If you attend an in-store event, we collect the data you provide to us when registering for or during the event. And if you enter into a price promotion, we collect the data you input into the entry form. Okay, let's talk about this later. Content of your files and communication you input, upload, receive, create, and control. For example, if you transmit a file using Skype or to another Skype user, we need to collect the content of that file to display it to you and the other user. If you receive an email using Outlook.com, we need to collect the content of that email to deliver it to your inbox, display it to you, enable you to reply to it, and store it for you until you choose to delete it. Other content we collect when providing products to you include communications, including audio, video, text, typed ink, dictated or otherwise, in a message, email, call, meeting request, or chat. Photos, images, songs, movies, software, and other media documents you store, retrieve, or otherwise process with our cloud. Look, this is these are important information, right? Like the documents you have in your email and everything. These are important informations, and we just doesn't have enough emphasis in our head. We just like usually, oh, it's just everyday life. But the fact of the matter is, these people can access that, can access that important data, like crucial data. Okay, next, video or recordings. Recordings of events and activities at Microsoft buildings, retail spaces, and other locations. If you enter Microsoft store locations or other facilities or attend a Microsoft event that is recorded, we may process your image and voice data. Feedback and ratings. Information you provide to us and the content of messages you send to us, such as feedback, survey data, and product reviews you write. And next, traffic data. Data generated through your use of Microsoft communication services. Traffic data indicates with whom you have communicated and when your communications occurred. Whoa, okay, what is this? Isn't this just traffic? We will process your traffic data only as required to provide, maintain, and improve our communication services, and we do so with your consent. Well, anyway, more important stuff was in the previous points, so that is kind of even if this means that, probably it's the same. Next, product specific sections below describe data collection practices applicable to use of those products. Okay, this is very interesting, and let me know your comments about this. I hope I could continue this on until all of the Microsoft Surface agreement is covered. However, though, there are going to be some kind of other legal documents related to it that is also really important to be read by the users as well. I'm not going to have enough resources to cover everything, and even that I am just an amateur. I hope you guys also have some kind of, depends on your situation, like you guys also monitor that, and together um, we can let the world know that these properties uh, are being maintained. Okay guys, thank you very much. I'll see you again next time if you want. Bye.